Bees are unique representatives of terrestrial fauna. Everything related to bees has healing properties. Ukrainian beekeeping traditions date back to ancient times. Thanks to the experience gained by many generations and modern scientific inventions, Apitherapy physicians offer original methods of treatment of even the most complex diseases, supplemented by national colours with a sweet honey aftertaste. Albert Einstein once said, "If the bee disappears off the face of the earth, man would only have 4 years left to live." Although the scientist actually meant the importance of bees in the pollination of useful plants, this insect is primarily associated with a delicious sweet product we know as honey. Ancient Egyptian papyri discovered by archaeologists in the 17th century offered recommendations for the use of honey, beeswax, and propolis for treatment of wounds, burns, and ulcers. In China, bee stingers were used as acupuncture needles. The use of honey and other bee products in disease treatment is also an ancient Ukrainian tradition. For example, famous healer, granddaughter of Prince Volodymyr Monomakh, Dorodia, wrote about that in her medical treatise of the 12th century. In modern medicine, there is a separate sphere called Apitherapy. The first part of the term comes from the Latin apis, which means bee. The general concept includes apitoxin therapy, that is bee venom treatment, a separate section of apitherapy, and the main section is treatment with all bee products. The variety of healing products that bees provide us with is impressive. Everything related to these wonderful insects can be used for therapeutic purposes, even their dead bodies. These tinctures contain heparin compounds that prevent blood clotting. Therefore, they are used to make drugs for the prevention of blood clots and treatment of venous diseases. In general, bee products are the result of collaboration between bees and the plant world. It all starts with pollen. Research has found that pollen contains all the essential amino acids required by the human body. There is no natural analogue of pollen by the concentration of useful components, but bees make pollen even more useful. Upon bringing this tiny herbal powder to the hive, they then turn it into bee bread or ambrosia, or food of the gods. This pollen ferments. Lactic acid is produced in bee cells, which causes its fermentation. Thanks to lacto-bifidist flora, it is enriched with all useful minerals. I consider these the best vitamins in the world. Bee bread stimulates restoration of damaged tissues and normalizes the functioning of the central nervous and endocrine systems. Mixed with honey, it helps to overcome various diseases of the liver. The epithet unique can be applied to almost all bee products, but it's most suitable for royal jelly. It got its name most likely because it is similar in color and texture to dairy cream. Royal jelly is produced from pollen by glands of worker bees. Bees consume bee bread or pollen brought to the hive and produce royal jelly with their upper mandible glands. Biologists found out the amazing properties of this product after discovering the secret of the birth of the queen bee. To achieve this, they had to observe the hive from within. It was found that the larvae of queen bees and worker bees do not differ. The insects plant eggs into the honeycomb cells and pour royal jelly over them. But what is going to grow from them depends on one factor: larva that forms a worker bee or a drone. A male bee is given this delicacy for only 3 days, while the future queen bee is given royal jelly throughout the whole embryonic period. It will have to feed on it for its whole life. Thanks to that, the queen bee is able to lay more than 2,000 eggs every day. Scientists say about 20% of the composition of royal jelly still remains an unsolved mystery for them. This bee product regulates the activity of all systems of the human body, but it has to be consumed in moderation due to its high biological activity. The average dose of royal jelly is about 200 milligrams. It is a harmless prophylactic dose, which can be taken 2 to 3 times a year for 20 days as a stimulator. Scientists at the Petro Profokovich Institute of Beekeeping are developing drugs based on this useful product. For example, Apistramol is an optimally matched mixture of honey and royal jelly. Depending on the dosage, various blood pressure problems can be solved. Small royal jelly doses reduce blood pressure. Average doses of royal jelly of around 500 milligrams normalize blood pressure. Adiosine, large doses of royal jelly in case of low blood pressure and hypotension to increase blood pressure. So the same product has different effects on the human body in different doses. Drones, males in the family of honeybees, also have their royal jelly. However, they perform only one function, reproduction. For that, worker bees feed them. But as soon as the period of honey collection ends, drones become souffleurs and are driven out. Drones can be useful in their young age. During a certain period of development of regular larvae, it is possible to find out whether it is going to be a drone or a worker bee. Experienced beekeepers usually control the number of drones in order that they do not eat too much honey when they grow up. Up to a certain period, the larvae are similar to cell embryos used in a new sphere, stem therapy. After their pressing and filtering, a substance like royal jelly but grey in colour comes out. Apart from its many useful elements, drone milk is also rich in male hormones. The combination of royal and drone jelly has a positive effect on all organs and systems. That means that the endocrine system can be influenced simultaneously. The body chooses itself what it lacks, androgen or estrogen. In this way, it balances between the two drugs and gets the maximum effect for their purpose. A lot can be said about the products of beekeeping. The propolis, with its excellent antibacterial properties, wax, the honey itself and bee venom. Numerous methods of Ukrainian apitherapy physicians are based on their use. Bee stings are painful, but their venom contains more than 50 biological active substances. Around the world, bee venom is used in pure form and as a component of pharmaceuticals for the treatment of various diseases. Oleksiy Pashchenko, a renowned Ukrainian apitherapy physician, has developed a therapeutic method based on the stings of these insects. I am interested in treatment of diseases to which traditional medicine surrenders. These are diseases of immunogenesis, for example, multiple sclerosis. I'm sure a viral invasion of the body with certain virus types lies at the heart of the disease. The herpes virus plays a certain role in its development. As a result of failures of the immune system, nervous tissue of the brain and the spinal cord are damaged. Hence, this leads to disruption of the functions of different organs. Multiple sclerosis is usually treated with hormone or immunotherapy. If we introduce hormonal components of unnatural origin to our body, we cripple our immune system. For a certain time, we get a positive effect, but then the effect of cancellation occurs. When we stop introducing hormones, the body reacts to it, and its state worsens. The same goes for interferon therapy. Interferons work, but the body does not produce its own hormones. But bee venom acts quite differently. It stimulates the corresponding glands, which begin producing the necessary hormones more rapidly. In addition, since it is venom, the body wants to neutralize it and produces antibodies that start fighting the disease. That brings up the reserves of the body. Every organism, even those in a cancer patient, has 20% reserve strength. So if the bee venom awakens the reserves, the body will fight the disease itself. Stories of the patients of Oleksiy Pashchenko show the effectiveness of the corresponding method. And even though it is impossible to fully cure multiple sclerosis, it is possible to slow the progress of the disease. This is my 4th Apitherapy course here. I feel much better than before. I still walk with a cane, but earlier I could not walk at all. If other diseases require about 200 bee stings per course of treatment, then such severe cases like multiple sclerosis or Lyme disease may require more than 700 bee stings. To make the procedure more comfortable, Pashchenko uses the cooling method. Additionally, he does a honey massage to remove excess toxins from the body. Alternative methods of healing have recently started gaining popularity in Ukraine. Even a short period of time spent among bees is considered a treatment process. A separate direction called Beehive Therapy has been established for this, which involves sleeping on beehive couches. I believe the main feature of such couches is direct contact with bees. It is a huge aura that bee colonies living inside a hive create. Only as a whole can they give huge energy potential. There are 4 hives under one couch in Dr. Paschenko's bee clinic. When he counts the bees, it turned out that there were almost 130,000. They have extraordinary properties. One of them is the concentration of living, natural warmth. During the activity period, the brood requires a temperature of 36 degrees. You lie down and experience this unique warmth. There is nothing that could be compared to it. This warmth is like that of a living creature. Those who were in a field during flowering and honey collection periods remember the unique bee buzz. These sounds are actually the vibration of their wings. But why do they buzz inside the hive? Bees bring nectar to the hive, which is 80% water. In order to make natural honey from the nectar, they have to vaporize 60% of the moisture. So what do? They fill cells with nectar and begin flapping their wings.
І що вони роблять? Залили нектар в комірчинки і активно махають крилами, парують.
According to Paschenko, this buzz also has healing properties. It belongs to the so-called white noise. In simple words, a harmonious noise without predominance in any of its frequencies. The sounds of sea, wind and waterfalls are also considered white noise. Unlike black noise that is harmful to the human ear, like hammering or saw buzzing, the buzz of bees calms us down and puts us into a state similar to meditation. This combination of different effects has a very positive effect on the human body. Beehive therapy normalizes blood pressure, improves circulation, and strengthens the nervous system. And since the air around beehives is full of biologically active substances, it helps in the treatment of the respiratory system. We are first place in the world by the number of bee couches, and now other countries are starting to implement our experience. Ukraine is recognized as one of the world's leading manufacturers of high-quality natural honey. Well-developed beekeeping promotes apitherapy. More and more people in Ukraine and around the world are starting to pay greater attention to natural treatment. Medical tourism is not a new phenomenon. Foreign visitors arrive in Ukraine not only due to the excellent results of therapeutic techniques, but also local coloring, cuisine, and the breathtaking landscapes.